Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattooed Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're doing my fall favorites, and fall is my favorite, so I have some really fun things to share with you today. I really edited down my list this time because I realized my summer favorites was like kind of out of control, which I was trying to like make up for spring too, but anyway, point is, this hopefully will be a little bit more concise, and all of the things that I have to share with you are definitely favorites. So let's jump right into it with the first category, which is books. I reread a lot of books actually in the fall, just because I just was feeling like it, but the new books that I did read really stood out to me. So one of them was this one right here. This is a nonfiction book called Buy Yourself the Lilies, and I have a potty mouth anyway, but this girl just really spoke to my heart. I love her writing style. It's so good. She's a writer for Comedy Central, and so she has like this way of telling you things without being like condescending or anything. She's super honest, but still like really funny. And she just told so many stories about herself and her experiences. She has a really interesting backstory, which really pulled me in from the beginning. And every chapter is like a different piece of advice. And what I love about this book is that at the end of each chapter are action steps. And I've been really inspired by this book, and I'm going to go through and make a list of things that I want to bring into my life for 2022. So I found this book to be super practical and things that I could just take and go and run with, and nothing like, you know, a lot of like self-help books are really just like throwing stuff at you, but this one is really things that you can like take and do things with, if that makes sense. I don't know. Got a little rambly there at the end, but I truly loved this book. It took me a while to get through it because I really wanted to absorb the information and act on it. And I really loved this one. So especially if you are like a single girl, you're in your 20s or your 30s, and you're really like settling into your life and you need a little bit of inspiration, this one is great. So the next one, I actually read it on my Kindle, so I don't have a physical copy, but I will pop up a little picture of it. It was called The Highland Fling by Megan Quinn. She is one of my favorite like romance, like fun fiction writers. And this one was super fun, and it had like such heart to it, which is what I love about her books. It was just kind of funny at some points and then just heartbreaking in other moments, and I just loved it. I flew through it. It was so cute. It was a standalone book, so it was just like a fun read. I also love young adult fiction, and this one was like, it just kept popping up on my Amazon, like things that they suggest you read, and I loved this book. It was really cute and fun. It had a little bit of a mystery in it, and I really loved the character development between the two main characters. They were love interests, but they were friends first. And I just really loved the ending too. It was just really a quick and cute read, and I loved it. It's about this girl who, she's a young actress, and her grandmother is also like this world-renowned actress, and she goes kind of missing, and she's looking for her grandmother in the book with her friend here, and they just kind of get into misadventures trying to look for clues for where her grandmother is because she went missing on her own. And you kind of have to figure out why and what's the real story behind it. So I loved it. It was cute, and it was set in New York, so it was kind of fun to revisit some of the places and, you know, things that I did while I was in New York. Okay, next up is movies and TV. I'm a broken record on this one, so you'll have to excuse that. But I love Ted Lasso, and the second season was incredible. Every single week, I looked forward to it. I would watch it on every Friday evening. Like, it's just so good. It's got heart to it. It's hilarious. There's so much profanity and like English humor in it. And it just like tugged at my heartstrings every single week. And I just couldn't wait to see the next episode. And I've already rewatched it actually. But I love that show, and I recommend it to everybody. The next one is another one that I have been talking about a lot, but it's called Reservation Dogs. It's on Hulu. By the way, Ted Lasso is on Apple TV. But Reservation Dogs is just kind of something that I wasn't expecting to love. And then I got through the first episode and I was like, well, I gotta watch this whole entire show. They're short, little, funny episodes, again, with the heart behind it. It's about a set of kids that live on a reservation in Oklahoma. They are all native and they're just trying to deal with their friend's suicide and trying to figure out who they are and where their place is in the world. And I had so many moments where I was like laughing out loud and then 5 minutes later, like bawling my eyes out. It was just such a great show, and I'm really excited because it is coming back for a second season. The next one is really exciting for me. On HBO, they did a live taping of Come From Away, which luckily my sister and I have tickets for. I think we're finally going to see it this time. It's been canceled twice now, but she lives in Dallas, so I'm going to pop over there in March and we are going to watch the production of Come From Away. But I wanted to see it before and it was beautiful. I loved it. The theater, like the way they set everything up and the way they did it was so interesting to me. I was just like glued to the TV. Plus the music is really moving and the story is so good. And I'm just really excited to see it on the stage. Okay, the last one is like a drama and it was very intense. It's called The Defeated. It's on Netflix and it's set right after World War II in Berlin. And this American detective goes to help assist the newly reformed Berlin police department, and at the same time he's trying to figure out where his missing brother is because his brother went MIA during the war and he knows that he got into some trouble. I don't want to give too much away there, but it gets real messy and really interesting. There's a lot of layers to the story and it was really fascinating to kind of see the aftermath of the war. There's not a lot of shows about the straight aftermath of World War II, and it was devastating and really, really difficult for everyone across Europe. But I mean, I felt like it was really historically accurate. Of course, you have like the fiction story going on within that, but I thought that was a really interesting element of it, being a history teacher myself. Okay, next up, I'm going to kind of combine a category. I used to do like YouTube and Instagram kind of people, and I'm just going to put them all together and just call it like social media, I guess. So I have 3 people I want to highlight. The first one is Better Off Red here on YouTube, and she's so fun. She does a series on her channel called Crew Crime, which is her play on true crime stories, and she does her makeup at the same time, and she does like really cool looks and like daring looks while telling the story in kind of a I don't want to say lighthearted, but she puts a little bit of humor into her storytelling, which I really enjoy. She's kind of like Bailey Sarian, but she's a little bit older. Like I relate to her when she talks about her life a little better, and I really like her. She's fun. Okay, the next one is on Instagram, and she is Kelly_Elizabeth XO, and she's great. So these 2 that I'm going to tell you about, her and Remy Bader, they're both like plus size models, I guess you would call them. I think they're models. I know Remy is, but they're definitely influencers, and they show outfits on real bodies. I just want to interject for a sec. They use the terms mid-size and curvy in their profiles, and I like those even better, and they're more modern than plus size, so I just wanted to say that. And Kelly does this really cool thing where she posts reels every day for 30 days with outfit ideas for like things that you can wear in that season, and I found a lot of inspiration from that. She also links like where she gets stuff, but really just even watching her putting together outfits every day has been really inspiring to like, you know, dress a little bit better for my body type and like, you know, getting really comfortable in dressing my own body. I love her for her inspiration and her like clothing ideas. And then Remy, she's hilarious. First of all, she's just like got this really great sense of humor about life and clothes and everything. And she does these realistic hauls that crack me up. But she really wants to point out that clothes are not made for normal bodies most of the time. And I love that she points it out with humor. She also showcases clothes that do fit her body. And I really love that she's like shouting out companies that are going that extra mile. They shouldn't have to, but they are like putting in the extra effort to clothe people with normal sized bodies. So I recommend both of them, and just really for their like positivity and their funniness and their attitudes, but also their outfit ideas are really cute. Okay, for music, I have been listening to the Six soundtrack for months now. My sister was the one who turned it on to me. I had heard about it, but I didn't like know the music that well. And then she like texted me one day and she's like, I am obsessed with this. I need you to listen to it so we can talk about it together. And being the history nerd that I am, I was like, well, I have to follow my sister's advice and also like dive into this new form of history. I mean, I loved Hamilton, but this show is so cool. I definitely want to see it in person one day. I just think it's such a fun concept, but the soundtrack is amazing. The songs are so different from each other and they're so good. And she actually found like a video of the stage production and sent it to me, so I kind of know how the show goes instead of just like knowing the music. And it's so good and so like catchy. It really kind of inspired me to get back into like Tudor history and stuff. I went on the whole like tangent of life, relearning and learning new stuff about the wives of Henry VIII and their roles in history and the effects of their lives and deaths. And it's just fascinating. And I cannot wait to see Six in person because it's just so good. And then the other one is just a playlist on Spotify. I really have not been seeking out new music. Let me know down below if you were like this. So I think you get to a certain age where you're like, I mean, I'll take some new music, but I think I'll just listen to all the old stuff. And there's one playlist that I keep coming back to. It's called the Warm Fuzzy Feeling playlist. It's just a good, cozy fall playlist with good like folk and alt folk and like just my kind of music. I love like anything that has bluegrass veins and folk and just anything that's got like a southern element to it. And part of that is like my granddad he plays in a bluegrass band, and my family's from Eastern Tennessee originally. So I just love that like element of music. And so I definitely recommend that playlist if you just want like a cozy vibe to a playlist. And it's very fallish, and I've definitely been listening to it a lot. So I totally forgot to go over my favorite podcast for this season, but these are 3 that I have been listening to right when they come out. Drama Queens is a One Tree Hill podcast with 3 of the stars that host it. It's really fun, and they have cute guests and like really fun stories. Going West is a really good podcast. It's this like boyfriend and girlfriend telling really serious stories. It's not a comedy one. It's just straightforward, and I really like their perspective on the different stories. And then the third one is Sinisterhood, one of my favorites. I've been listening for literally years. I just love them, and I don't think that I've highlighted them before, so I wanted to give them a shout out because I do love their podcast. Not only is it fun, but you also get a lot of good information. Okay, next up is beauty, and I definitely wanted to highlight someone I've been watching a lot lately. I've been following Jamie Paige for a very long time. I mean, we're talking like years and years, probably like 5 years. I love her videos because they're like not super long. She gets right to the point. She explains things really well. She's got real skin and real like issues with her skin. We're kind of growing up at the same pace. And I just really love her videos. Her makeup style has changed in the past few years too, where she's kind of like minimized a little bit, and we're just like right on the same page. Okay, that was a little pun, but I love her, and she just like speaks to me in terms of like makeup looks I want to actually do at my age. Okay, next I have this moisturizer. This is the Aveeno Calm and Restore Oat Gel Moisturizer. This is so good. I love a gel moisturizer. I don't think that I will ever go back to anything else. I just love the texture of this and the way that it absorbs into my skin. And I really like the Neutrogena one too, but this one just is a little bit more like calming, and it sits under my makeup really, really well. And it absorbs like super fast, and it works really well with the sunscreen I'm going to show you in a minute, but it is so good. I've been using it for like 3 months now, and it's the best moisturizer I've ever used. Okay, next up is the Dazzle Dry system. So this is becoming like more popular in the planner community. I heard about this system from Lakin, I think. And Julie also loves Dazzle Dry as well. It is pricey to get started, but once you have the polishes and everything in the system, then you're like good to go for a long time. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I love a sheer polish. That's all I've worn for like 20 years, like since high school. And that was forever ago. I love a sheer polish because it hides all the mistakes. It looks always like really classic and clean, but you can still have a little bit of fun with it. And I'm going to show you the 2 polishes that are my favorites. So there's 4 steps to the routine. The first one is the nail prep. You can buy the whole system, by the way. I just bought like a kit. But this is the, what did I say? This is the nail prep. This is step 1. It's basically an alcohol infused, I don't know, infused alcohol, something. Anyway, it like preps your nails, and then you have your base coat, which is number 2. Then you do your polishes. These are my 2 favorites. I love these so much. I wear these pretty much like every other week, unless I'm like taking a break, because these are my favorites. I do have like 4 others, but I just keep going back to these 2. So this is a sheer like purple polish, and it's so pretty on my nails. I love this color, and this is called First Hello. Then this one is my absolute favorite, and it's on my nails right now. I love it so much. This one is called Fine China. It's a white. It's so pretty. It's like a milky white that's sheer, and it's gorgeous. It makes your nails look so healthy and fresh, and it's really hard to like mess these up because they're sheer, and it's great. And then there is the top coat. So you do step 1, you like clean them off, and then you do 2 coats of the base, then 2 coats of the polish, and then you do 1 coat of the top. So it takes a while, but I'm telling you, I'm super hard on my nails and my hands, and I need to take care of them, especially since I have like the scars on my hands. But I find that I can wear these for a whole week and not have any chips. That's amazing. Like with any other polishes, I will chip them within a day to maybe 3 days. These, I can go a whole week. And they protect my nails so well because they create like a barrier, and like a strong barrier. And it's just, it's great. I love it. The hype is real, okay, is what I'm trying to say. So next up is this little guy, and this is the Naturium Half Step Flash Facial. That's kind of a hard thing to say, but this is great. This is a glycolic and vegan lactic acid plus biodegradable cellulose mixture treatment. Okay, this, if I'm not putting on my retinoid, or I'm not using a like BHA toner, then I will use this once a week. You can't use it more than that. It will kill your skin if you try to use it more than once a week. But it's so great. And you use it between your first and second cleanse, it says, which is what I do. And it's got these acids in it that just smooth your skin out beautifully. Oh my gosh. And then like makeup for the 2 days after that just comes on so smooth. It's great. And it keeps kind of like acne and like things like that at bay. It's just a beautiful product, and I love it. I really love Naturium. I've featured them in many favorites before, and this is definitely a favorite new member of the family. Okay, for health and wellness, this is a new sunscreen to me, a face sunscreen, and it's called Protect and Hydrate Sunscreen from Aveeno, and it's 60 SPF, and it's for the face specifically, and it goes so well with this guy. These guys are like BFFs. They sit so well under my makeup, and this is moisturizing too, and in the winter, in the fall, I get like dry, and this helps so much. It's a beautiful product, and it has no scent. It's just great, and it has that like that oat thing that they do with Aveeno that just like calms my skin because I get a little sensitive sometimes. Emotionally and physically. But I love this a lot, and I've had this little tube for about 2 months now, and I still have some left in it, and I really like it. Okay, also in health and wellness, I have this little contraption. This is from Care of. These are my vitamins, and they come in little daily packs. You get a 30-day supply, and then you get the little pack that you can take with you if you need to, but they have all of my little vitamins in there. And it also has like a little like fun fact or like thing about the company. And I love that it like has my name on it. It's so cute. But this has really helped me to take my vitamins, mainly because not only do I have the opportunity to take this with me if I'm out at night, but also because I take them in the evening because I need to eat when I take these. I had realized that pretty early on when I started taking them. Also, what's great with these vitamins is the app that goes with the company, the Care of app. They have an opportunity for you to track your vitamins every day. So they put in a little reminder for you and you click this little button and then it gives you carrots, and then you can use that for different stuff like things you want to try out or even like money off your next order and things like that. So I just love this system. It's been really good for me to have my vitamins like already portioned out and ready to go. And I can go on the go with these as well. The last thing in health and wellness is a YouTube channel that I adore. I don't know if I've mentioned her here before, but I love her channel. She is Sydney Cummings. And just like everything, I will link everybody down below, everything down below. But she is just so positive and encouraging. Her workouts are really great. She's got a lot of variety. She does 30-day programs generally. And I don't do the 30-day programs because there's some stuff I can't do with her with my like still healing arms. And but I love her workout. So whenever I see her in my subscriptions, I will look at the workout, and if I think I can do it, then I will save it to one of my playlists and then come back to her later. She has a lot of variety. I really love her stretch workouts. They're great. So on days where I want to take a rest, but I still want to do something like positive for my body, she has these 20-minute stretch workouts. And she also does like all different stuff. Like she does kickboxing, she does HIIT, a lot of lifting, which I've been really wanting to do this year. It hasn't worked out so well, but I'm going to bring that into 2022. And her workouts are just super fast paced. And she's doing it with you the whole time and explaining everything really well, demonstrating everything like really clearly. And she's just like really encouraging. She doesn't yell at you. She just like gives you the right words at the right time when you need it. All right, the last category is planning. And first, I just want to quickly mention the Shop app. It's a really good app for tracking all of your packages, especially your planner Happy Mail. And it basically connects to your emails. And then when it reads an email with a tracking number, it pulls that tracking number and then it puts it in the app for you and then tells you like updates and stuff. It's really simple, but it works for everything. So like all my Amazon purchases, anything I buy, it ends up in the app because it knows that I bought it when I get the shipping email, and it just throws it into the app for me and I have it all in one place. I don't have to go and like dig through my emails to find something. And I know if something is running late really easily, or if it says it's been delivered when it wasn't, like I have had some issues with lately, but I just really like it. It's practical and it's great. Okay, next up are these washi from According to Allie. Her washi's so good. I wonder if she's going to get into foiling anytime soon, but her patterns are awesome. So these are just some of the washi that I own from According to Allie. Her patterns are all original to her and they're just so interesting and different. Like nobody's doing this kind of stuff and they're all like her art. I really love like these new ones that I have right here. Just really, really pretty. Some of them are super simple. Like I really like this one, but then some of them are really intricate, like this wildflower one, this one. It's just, I love them. And she does really interesting color combos and pattern combos. And you're like, how are those supposed to work together? And then she puts them together and it's beautiful. So I love my According to Allie washi. So this little notepad from Cultivate What Matters has really been saving my weekends. I have been on a quest to find a daily notepad that works for me. And this is the closest that I've come to. I'm still I've got an idea for a different one that I'll share maybe in my winter favorites. It's new, but I really love this one. So I found that I needed some structure on my weekends. I'm loving my plum paper, which I'll show you in a minute, but the weekends are stacked and I don't have a lot of room and I need a place to make lists and break down my day. And this is what this notepad does for me. It's got a spot for some time blocking. It's also got a spot down here for meal prep and exercise and tracking your water, which on the weekends I actually have a hard time with. And having a place to check off my water and make sure I'm hydrated is really helpful. Then over here, you got a place for where you're, what you're grateful for, today's priority, and then a to-do list and a tomorrow list. It's really simple and I love this. I love the paper that it's on. I can write with like a permanent marker and it won't even barely bleed through. And it's really thick too. Like I still have a ton left on this pad, but I have been loving this. I know I'm not a daily planner. I don't need that much breakdown of most days, but the weekends are different. And this is really helpful. So last but certainly not least is the love of my life, my planner love of my life at least, my plum paper A5 vertical priorities planner. So when I switched to the vertical priorities earlier this year, I really just kind of fell into it and loved it. But then I got my A5 and it's like love at first sight. I freaking love this planner. This planner was like made for me. And I have really enjoyed being in here and it's helping me with like productivity. I know that's weird to say, but that's what your planner is supposed to do. But even though I decorate in here a little bit, I still find that it's super functional because I can break down my day with my priorities, my quick to-dos, events, my workouts I can log in here. I've even been logging my sleep these days and that's been really helpful. Also, this habit tracker that's built in, great, love it. But I really have been just enjoying this so much. This planner, y'all, I'm just like obsessed with it. I talk about it all the time. It's my perfect fit. I think that's what planning is all about, is like finding the planner that works for you, whatever it is. And I used to be like tied to using things that other people were using. And now I've put all of that to the side and I'm like, what works for me? And like that notepad and this, that works for me. And I love them so much. So that's everything for my favorites video. I hope that you enjoyed it and got exposed to some new things or maybe reminded of some things that you want to try out. If you have any questions about any of the things that I mentioned, or if you have some favorites of your own that you want to recommend to me, definitely leave me a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Hit that notification bell if you want to be notified when I upload, and I will see you next time. Bye.